Okay, do you think that these effects on the children, as you said, you're providing services when it comes to mental health and everything, but will the effect of this war be permanent on these children?
We really won't know the extent of the long-term impact of this trauma until children feel safe. It's very hard to assess and respond to mental health while a conflict is ongoing and the trauma continues to compound.
Hmm.
So once children feel safe, once they're able to reflect on what has happened to them and communicate that, that's when we'll really understand how serious the impact of this trauma will be on the children of Lebanon. But it's safe to say that children are going to require psychosocial and mental health support now and in the days and weeks to come.
Okay, Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati issued an urgent call to international organizations to allow in medical authorities to evacuate the casualties from the targeted areas. How do you see the international community's response to this call, and how will UNICEF also respond to this call to action?
UNICEF is here. We're doing everything we can to support children wherever they are, whether that's in hospitals, in communities, in shelters, from south to north. The challenges are great, and the international community does really need to step in here to ensure that the children of Lebanon receive the support that they need in this time of crisis. UNICEF is appealing for US $105 million for the next 3 months for our response. And of course, there are other agencies and the government of Lebanon that are also responding. So it's important that the international community gets behind these efforts to protect the children of Lebanon.
If we could go back to the idea of mental health, do you think that this could possibly in the future, I know you don't want to talk about long-term things as long as the war is going, but do you think that mental health could also affect the development of children in general?
Yes, we know that there are many aspects of a child's life that can affect its long-term development. Its nutrition is one. If children don't get adequate nutrition early in life, they can be stunted or wasted. They're technical terms that basically mean the growth of a child's body is altered, and that can have a long-term impact on them in terms of their ability to enter the workplace or perform well in school. And mental health has the same sort of impacts, that if a child has compound trauma early in life, that can stay with them for the rest of their life and have consequences for many years to come.
And as a spokesperson for UNICEF, what steps would you urge the international community to take to tackle the situation in Lebanon and end this cycle of violence?
So first of all, our main call is to the parties of conflict to have a ceasefire. That's the number one thing. The international community can aid in that effort by ensuring loud advocacy for that ceasefire. That's the number one thing that we really need. But beyond that, support for humanitarian organizations like UNICEF is critical to make sure that we can continue our work to support the children of Lebanon. That can be through both providing humanitarian aid and supplies, but also funds so that we can continue our work. The other thing we really need is for supply routes to remain open. Of course, many airlines have cancelled their flights into Lebanon because of the security situation, and that makes it challenging for us to bring in that life-saving aid. And we are managing. We've got, as I said, some medical supplies arriving by plane this weekend, but we need to ensure that those supply routes remain open, land, air, and sea, so that aid can get in.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tess Ingram, the spokesperson for UNICEF. Thank you so much for joining us.